Welcome back to another episode of the NSDC Podcast. With us today, we got some special guests and homies. But as always, with me today is Doom, now known as Don't Even Worry. We got Sergio Monster in the Iron Mask. And then joining us today is Jonny Bravo 808 and Free. What's going on, guys?
Yo.
How's it going?
A lot of news, a lot of stuff going on in the Marvel world.
What a night, bro! Like we're gonna record earlier, and then Elusive
UFC fights got in the way. You know what I mean?
Became a diva again, so we're waiting for him.
What?
And we got the biggest distraction, bro. Let's just start off with it. We were all here except Elusive again in real time. Avengers Doomsday was announced May 2026. So Elusive, this is how it went in real time.
Okay.
We're looking at this Fantastic Four stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be called First Steps, Fantastic Four."
Baby
steps.
steps.
Awesome, cool.
Okay.
And everyone's like, "What? That's it? They didn't even show a trailer? That's all they're gonna show?" Oh. And they're like, "Oh, guess what? Fantastic Four is gonna be the next Avengers, two of them. Secret Wars 2027 in May. My birthday month, so shout out. Shout out to all Gemini.
That's my son. Yeah, I was telling my son that too.
Yeah, for sure. Then, bro, they announced Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, May 2026. And I was like, what?
That's crazy. That's
real
dope.
time, we were like, I guess Doom's now.
In 2 years, but now, yeah.
Yeah, but it felt like, they're announcing now. Okay, cool. And then this. So, first, Elusive, I just want what you've seen this, right?
Yeah, I saw it earlier. I'm not gonna lie, I did see that on Instagram, and I was thrown off a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know.
Yeah. What's
and I
your
still
first
don't know. My first reaction was this just something that he did as something fun for the fans in Comic-Con, or was it him saying he's gonna be playing Doom? That's what I don't understand yet.
So you think they're just working the crowd? No, it's official, dog.
Oh,
you got introduced to Victor Von Doom.
See, that's weird because I was, backstage. I was mentioning to Jonny and Free, like, and to Sergio, like when Flame Boy crossed over from Green Lantern, at least that was like from the DC universe, and now he's in the Marvel universe, same actor. But being Robert Downey Jr., who started the whole MCU with Iron Man, and now he's gonna be Dr. Doom. I don't dislike it, but it's gonna feel weird to me because I just see him as Iron Man. That's all. I don't think it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
But you don't like playing you don't like the double dip.
Yeah, it just seems a little weird. I had something.
I think weird is a normal reaction. I'll say me next, and then we'll go around the table.
Okay.
I was like, what? I was shocked. Honestly, just shocked. And then once I saw him reveal the Doom mask and everything, and I was like, oh wow, this is gonna be a big deal. This is probably the most recognizable MCU actor, right? Like most iconic one.
Yeah.
With the Iron Man, and then he's posting it on his IG like the Doom mask. Like it settled in for me after a while. Like, whoa, this is a big deal for Doom. I don't know how the story's gonna work. I don't know how they're gonna make this make sense.
Yeah,
but this is the moment, bro. Like it's crazy.
Like real quick before we go to everybody else's reaction, the only last thing I was gonna say is that I still, as good as this news is because of who he is as an actor and how big he is and iconic, I still think just for the portrayal of the character, I still would have gone with Cillian Murphy myself.
Cillian Murphy, yeah.
Yeah, Cillian. There you go.
Yeah, from Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
But again, when we were in here reacting, there was little keywords, and we started theorizing. So I'll let Sergio, you go next. What did you think when you first saw it?
I don't really have so much of a problem, especially like since the multiverse thing is like a whole like situation now, right? Like it's like an actual thing happening in the MCU, right? Bunny ears. So I mean, my first pick would be Cillian, personally myself, but I mean, I'm not too upset about it. I just hope that they don't like dilute the storyline a little bit. Like, don't get too crazy with it. Like I don't like if this is like the stunt to bringing back Robert Downey to revive the MCU. Like, hey, fingers crossed it is, but I don't know. Let's see how long it lasts. Like we know Robert Downey. It like do we stick with the Iron Man Doom situation, or is it Victor Von Doom? Like, there's a lot of questions right now.
Yeah,
in the Doom chat for sure. So
the Doom chat is going crazy right now for sure.
Doom chat's going crazy. But that's my take on it, man. I'm excited. Yeah. I was always curious. I didn't know that I was gonna get it at SDCC. That's for sure. I was definitely not expecting a reveal like that. Like, I was excited for the Galactus.
Yeah, Galactus was teased, right? Yeah, with the drones the night before.
They didn't even give us a surfer. They went from Galactus to Doom. Like two of the bigger villains in the Fantastic Four. And I think there's going to be a lot of new Doom fans out there.
Well, the reaction, and we'll talk about the reaction that we saw after Free and Jonny talk. It was interesting. But I'll let Jonny. What was your first reaction, Jonny?
Well, at first I remember there was rumors about him, taking the role, but I was thinking, there's no way, because he's just too iconic as Iron Man, like Elusive said. But I was always really worried who they would get to play Doom, because sometimes the casting but I'm kind of cautiously optimistic about it.
Yeah.
It's like we just gotta see where they take it.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I mean, their biggest star, and now it's gonna be their biggest villain. So it's kind of we'll see what they're gonna do with it.
Yeah, this is definitely achieving all the marks of marketing that they could ever hope for. The Russo brothers, and Kevin Feige. They obviously have a master plan to revive the MCU. So what better way than to use their star actor as the star villain of Marvel? You can see 1.6 million likes on this post. I think it was how many million likes on Robert Downey's post? Like 3 or 6 million, something like that.
And you pointed out to me.
I did want to mention that out.
Yeah.
So back in 2005, the first Fantastic Four that came out, Robert Downey actually auditioned as Doom. So even way back then, before he was an Iron Man movie, he tried to pick this role for himself. So it's something that he's always had in mind. So it's not completely out of the blue. But like Sergio said, with the whole multiverse of madness that the MCU is nowadays, it's very possible that there's going to be different versions of Doom, including an Iron Man version. To bring him as Victor Von Doom, that is very polarizing, especially to the hardcore Doom fans that would like a separate character as to play Victor Von Doom. But we'll see how they take it, how they spin this one, because we all know him as Tony Stark. So they've had plenty of interactions in the comics, Iron Man and Doom. So we'll see if they bring that dynamic or if they just try to squash it all into one person.
Yeah. And I know the one phrase that was said, new mask, same task. So that's interesting to point out and theorize over what that means. I'm hoping Victor Von Doom, there's a Victor Von Doom. He's just, Iron Man taking over Doom's powers, but it's gonna be interesting to see. It was shocking though. It was weird, bro. It was a weird feeling. I was telling Jonny, this is what Jonny feels like every day when everyone's, parading around Wolverine, getting hyped about Wolverine. All these Doom people coming out, and I enjoy it, bro. It was a moment. Everyone. I mean, Free, you were telling me like people were posting up their comic books, any Doom comic book they have in their collection. Like, we busted out all our cards to celebrate. Tag the shit out of people.
We from time to time get tagged. I gotta tag somebody back.
Yeah. That was fun. I had a lot of fun with that news, and I'm excited to see how they tie it up, how they make things work. It's interesting they're going back to like him potentially being Doom in the Fox universe, and like we just saw a lot of those characters being woven into the Deadpool and Wolverine movie lately. So I like how they're trying to tie everything into a nice little ribbon. But yeah, it was supposed to be Fantastic Four night, and it just got overshadowed by Doomsday.
100.
Yeah. Overall, I think kind of like what Freak was saying, like in a way, any type of press is good press, and especially for Marvel and the MCU, which I think we all felt, at least I did, like it was dying out. I think this is one of the best things to do, along with I would even say this is bigger than the whole Wolverine Deadpool. As great as that movie was, I'm sure, and the attention it brought to the MCU, this is just on another level because of Robert Downey Jr.
Because of Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, I mean, I felt like this is gonna be in the headlines in the morning news and everywhere. Like,
I mean, listen, the MCU had their best villain at one point in time, and now it's we've turned a new leaf, and here we are. Sorry for those Thanos lovers out there, but
yeah, Tim, you hear this, Tim? Yeah, fuck out of here with that Thanos shit, dog. Yeah.
Robert Downey's about a fatality, like
And I'll also say, elusive to your point, I would say even more so than Robert Downey Jr.'s return is in tandem with Dr. Doom being revealed. Only Dr. Doom as a character could cause this much buzz and this much roar. It wouldn't be the same if RDJ came back as Iron Man. So this alone actually shows you the character itself of how iconic the character is and how wanted he is right now.
I mean, I look, not to, because you know me, I try to go along with you guys for the most part, but I got to be honest, I disagree with that. I think it's more Robert Downey Jr. because, I mean, look at the hashtags alone on Instagram. Doom is not a big presence, not even close to an Iron Man, let alone Robert Downey Jr. I really think it just comes down to Robert Downey Jr. Personally, I know we all like Dr. Doom for sure, but I don't think as Doom as a character is that big.
Bro, if he was coming back as Kang, it wouldn't hit the same.
Iron Man.
Yeah, 100%.
It wouldn't hit the same as Kang.
I don't know if they would have taken off the Iron Man mask. There would have been that much uproar. I think they were surprised that it was RDJ under the Doom mask. That's how they revealed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, again, I'm gonna, me and
RDJ as Galactus. Fuck out of here.
Me and Johnny are surrounded right now, so we'll just go along with it.
Johnny agrees with us. I don't know what you're talking about. Johnny knows what's up. Yeah, looking forward to it. Crazy.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
I do want to go over like Fantastic Four being called First Steps. Nice. They revealed the actor for Galactus' voice. We saw this cool, fantastic car. I mean, SDCC, get shit popping. Gives me, Jetsons vibes. I like it.
Gives me submarine vibes, but
it's fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
Fun, yeah.
I like that they brought out the actors. And then Johnny, this has been your week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're not gonna spoil anything for people. Yeah. We're just gonna ask Johnny to give us, how he felt, his experience with the movie, being a Wolverine fan.
He's waited for this for so long.
Without spoilers, Johnny, just because we don't want any hate mail. And if you do send any, send it to Elusive. You already know, at ElusiveCollectables.
Wow.
So, like, just keep it as simple as possible. Like, it's by and away, it's not a flawless movie, but I think it's a perfect movie, if that makes any sense. Like, it has the perfect amount of heart. It has the comedy. It has the violence. And it has just the right amount of, like, everything in it. And, like, the Easter eggs and the cameos and it's just all fan service, 100%. And it's just I couldn't have hoped for anything better with this movie. Like I just walked out and I was like, wow, I don't know if I ever felt like that satisfied from a movie before.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it was quite the experience. So without spoiling anything,
Now, is that biased, Johnny, or like you?
some of it's biased for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, some of it's biased for sure. That's
Yeah,
not
at least Johnny admits his biases. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny.
So it's like for like the Wolverine fans, Deadpool fans, this is the movie. But I think the casual fan can step into it and they're gonna have a really good time with the movie. Like just Ryan Reynolds' comedy, his timing, and the thing is, even Hugh Jackman, like they have just really good chemistry on screen, and it really shines in this movie. So I'm hoping they plan on doing more with them. The ending, like, it ties it up, but it also leaves it very open. So,
nice.
But I hope they plan on doing more.
Does it as far as just storyline, does it compare to like Logan?
I think so. It's not as serious and as like how Logan was like an Oscar, film, like a serious film. It doesn't have like that. Some moments it does have the seriousness, but like for me, I thought the story was really well done.
Yeah.
Like the way they do things, again, without spoiling, it's like, wow, that makes sense. It's not something like out of left field or like, oh, what? But it was really, really well done, really slick.
And I do think the casual fan, this movie is like a return to like Marvel's like big blockbuster hit.
Mm-hmm.
My niece went to go watch it premiere night. She doesn't watch all of them. My sister watched it. She loved it. She doesn't watch all of them. I know Tim just went and watched it tonight. He fucking enjoyed it. Like he loved it. Like I think Freedom said he watched it. And like
it was awesome.
But yeah, people have nothing but positive things to say about this.
Like one thing I would say, like that's a little different, and I don't know if I'm sure they did mean it like this. Is Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine meaner in this movie. Like he's a meaner Wolverine.
Good,
but which I like. To me, it works.
Yeah, aggressive, right?
Yeah,
that's what it seems like from the previous. And I'm definitely I want to watch it, but I'm gonna wait till digital, digital rental. You know what I mean? I had to go look for all the spoilers ahead of time, because that's what I like to do. I like to figure out the story before I watch it. So it's just a lot of crazy stuff in here. What a weekend for Marvel.
Yeah. They're really trying to put forth the effort to hit this revival, and they need it, man. I really think that they need it. Like I feel like if I mean, just imagine if Deadpool would have came out and everyone was just like the complete opposite, like yo, flop, like this this sucks. Like it would just like anything moving forward past that, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just the fact that they brought back Wolverine and Robert Downey Jr. lets you know that they understand the sense of urgency they have to revive it.
Yeah,
it's a real injection, right? Of like, we better get this shit right. And it also has a big possibility of being a disaster if this Robert Downey Jr.'s Doomsday movie does not do well. It could be a disaster. So it's gonna take a while to get used to him being Doom, but interesting. And I know we didn't talk about this last week. I think we recorded the day before the news broke, but we did see San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend. Marvel again doing a collab with Kith, the clothing sneaker brand.
Yeah.
And introducing a promotional book. We talked about PSA grading, but they're doing like last year release was with the card. And some people don't remember, but there was a promotional comic book. There's an X-Men 60 Years Kith book.
Yep.
and now this one is no cards, but you get it's a villain set, and there's a Green Goblin, Magneto, Spider-Man with Venom, and then a Doom book, which is not slab. So some of these are, rarity in color, and they come inside the box.
PSA,
except for the
you're
Doom.
Slipping, bro. You're slipping, PSA. You didn't put Doom on the slab?
I thought he was the
How you
biggest
gonna have-
character. That's crazy.
How you gonna have? Yeah, but I
Who's
mean,
consulting these guys?
I think that was a Ronnie Feig. If I'm,
Yeah.
it's more.
And as
more
far as
kid-
marketing goes, though, this is a genius. Like, they're really good at this because not only is he
Yes.
like continuing with the whole Marvel collabs, but also tying in the fact that PSA is now doing books. Everything but the shoes for me is dope.
I'm about to say the biggest
Yeah, the
buzz,
shoes
bro,
weren't
is
the
active
most.
shoe.
Yeah, people weren't so psyched about the shoes with some Asics. But I like the Green Goblins. I mean, that should have been the Doom though. Like, stop
Yeah, I
playing.
thought that was the Doom
What?
at first.
Why is the Silver Surfer there?
And
Like,
same reason the Spider-Man's there. I don't know.
I mean, Spider-Man versus Venom is, it makes sense. Spider-Man you're gonna use to promote, but so is Silver Surfer a villain? That I don't know.
To be fair, he was a villain until he gained his memory back.
That is true.
Okay, well,
I'll give him that one.
I guess. I mean, why
You know,
is
they
the Surfer in
could've
the
defeated-
slab and not the Doom?
You know, Sergio's as much Surfer fan as I am. You know what I mean? He just
No, that's
pretends he-
true. No,
That's
for
not
sure.
true. No, that's not true.
Wait,
100% true.
wait, but you're not a Doom fan.
I'm not.
You said you left the Doom club. Yeah, like
But I mean, the Doom. I mean, that was more of a role.
Wait, you were just telling Johnny you're trying to make a Wolverine club. Like,
Don't even worry about it, man. You guys are not Wolverine collectors. You
he's
know what
just
I mean?
searching for a saga now.
I
Oh,
thought
that's
they were.
crazy.
You know me. We do all the sagas. Don't even worry
That's
about that.
crazy. Yeah. Well, look, I'd rather be part of your Wolverine club than somebody else's. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
But that's
it.
just me.
There you go.
I might make
what-
you a moderator. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. No, be straight. We didn't have Free and Johnny. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this whole PSA slabbing comic books, because I know you guys both have books, CGC, big
That's
books too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys have some shit. Well, I mean, whoever wants to go first, what's your take on this? How do you feel about it? About
And are
what
you
you
going to be
see
using the
and
service?
the potential? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, for me, I've never sent any comics or cards to get graded yet, and collecting for 3 years now, over 3 years. But if I see a dope comic, that has a PSA slab, and the way I buy graded comics is usually it tends to be like maybe the only one available, maybe there's no raws, or maybe it's just a classic 9.8 that would be nice to have. So I would automatically kind of give PSA a respect of, like, as long as I'm seeing that their grades are consistent with CGCs, which isn't hard to beat. If not better, hey, that's respect to them. If they put out a good product, I wouldn't say no to it just because it's PSA. I think the label is pretty clean, pretty minimalistic. Doesn't take away from the comic, so I think it's just a good thing overall, because it makes CGC on their toes, puts them on their toes, and going to make them rethink everything and make sure they're keeping up the quality on their end.
Yeah, like even for me, I've been grading my cards with them for so long. It's crazy. It's still kind of surreal seeing that they're grading books now, but I love the label. Like the label and the slab, it looks really good. Like I've only ever sent, actually, like I've bought CGC books, but I only sent one book, and that was my copy of Walking Dead #1 that I purchased from Gecko Books when it first came out, and it got a 9.8.
Oh,
and
Nice.
Johnny, you got Walking Dead books? Oh, I didn't even know. You had. Okay. Oh,
I sold them all. The way the show went.
Yeah.
The show, I was a big fan of the show, but like the direction they took the show in, I just got so disgusted with the whole thing. I ended up selling my books after a while. I didn't like where the show went and just how it was. So it was weird though. Like it made me even dislike the books, which kind of sucks because the books, especially like the first few chapters, are really good. But
Amazing. Yeah.
But I definitely would consider sending books to them. I mean, I like that label. I don't know if I would say it would take over CGC as far as my collection goes, as far as the books, but I would definitely send books and see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm with you. I love and it's funny because I read like a lot of comments on like their posts and people just criticizing the label or not huge fans of the label. I love the minimalistic style. Like I hope they don't tweak
I like
much.
it.
I like the size of the number. It transfers from the card label to the comic. And now, like people who want to match their cards, I mean, you got the option right there.
There you go. Yep.
I've graded with PSA too, and it's my preferred company to grade with. But it's easy. Like I definitely gonna send some books there eventually. So I like it. I like what I saw. Should we talk about the elephant in the room? The debate we talked about last week.
Oh man,
Sergio. What are we doing, Doug?
I mean, listen, I don't know if it was so much of a debate. It was just like I woke
No,
up. A
topic.
morning,
Just a topic.
let's call it a topic.
I think it's a debate just based on the fact that not a lot of people agree with each other.
Yeah, for sure.
I woke up one morning. And there was a conversation about, sketch cards this, sketch card that. And I'm just like, bro. Like, listen, in my perspective, really, the reason why I think it pissed me off is I'm like, bro, we were talking about this like last year. Y'all still talking about this like today? Yeah. Listen, if you don't want to buy something, don't buy it. If you don't want to support something, don't support it. Like in the same way that maybe we used to get some shade about like hierarchy and this and that, other people treat other things in a hierarchy manner too. They just don't like openly admit to it, Yeah.
And we're talking about pack pool sketch cards versus aftermarket sketch cards, which is
correct.
It did like pop up over time. It seems like it's a never ending like discussion. Every couple months it comes up again.
And I'll just say, like, just to end like my piece on the pack pool, like in sketch stuff, like I stepped away from cards a little bit because I think the culture is like just sometimes like a little bit weird, with certain things. So, I went into comics and I'm very happy in that space. But as someone that loves the character and someone that loves like the culture of like, comics and cards and stuff like that, because it's not like I don't like cards. I got a commission. Some people like, some people frown upon commission, or they don't frown upon it, but like they don't show it as much love as like, another piece. And it's like, listen, at the end of the day, I get commissions from artists that I personally like myself, and then I'm willing to put like money into quote unquote their pocket, Yeah. And it's a symbiosis, and like it's. I remember when I got the MF Mickey sketch, like it kind of just opened up my eyes, because I'm like, man, like listen, this isn't a Marvel artist, right? He is a published artist with Disney, but it was just something fun and it was different. And you know what? It was $65, and it was something that like I don't really see like every day, because it's not the same card out of 10 or the same card out of 5 or the same, whatever. And, obviously we're talking about sketches. A commission that you personally ask for something yourself is a one-of-one, just like a sketches, because it's your thought, your idea. And, I'm here for the artist. I'm here, like, my biggest, like, thing that's made me feel good in the hobby is going and meeting these artists, connecting with artists, talking to artists. And, that's just been my jam. That's how now I enjoy like my hobby space with sketches and stuff like that. I'm not gonna go buy a sketch card. I do have a sketch card, the Dick Ayers, obviously, because that's like one of the OGs. You know what I mean? So to the Monster in the Iron Mask comic. But in general, like I was never a sketch collector because either they were too expensive, a lot of them are locked up, So I just went another route, and I'm here for the artists. I personally don't have too much say because I don't have sketches in general. Like I said, the pieces that I do have are commissions, but guys, like, just get over it. It goes deeper, right? Pack pulled, AP stock. Is it pack pulled? Is it not? I think that was like the biggest controversy, and that's kind of messed up. If that's what's going on, and that is messed up. But to me, like art is art, and sometimes people like elevate these sketch cards, like, to a certain extent. It's like, dude, that's a bad sketch. Like, it's not even that good,
Right.
So, but I don't have a bag. That's why I can like openly say like, pretty much whatever I want. I'm not protecting or defending anything. The pieces that I have are mine, and they always will be. So,
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about it?
It's definitely a preference, right? And I've done both. I'm definitely way more. Well, I guess now it's not even sketch cards, but I prefer doing the aftermarket route because I can have an artist that I want to draw on stock I want. But even now, like, I don't even care if it's an AP or if it's a masterpiece. Like the Sienkiewicz one was a big deal, like for me, and it was a controversial one in the groups because it wasn't an AP, it wasn't an artist who was on the set. But for me, that's I want to have masterpieces artists on masterpieces stock. It's just a preference thing. So people having an opinion on it, being mad about it. I understood why they were mad about it, but it had nothing to do with me. It had to do with their decisions and how they collect and what they believe is correct hierarchy and what should be done, what shouldn't be done.
Hey, really quick. You know what else they could be mad about though? It's a published piece now.
Yeah, shout out to Bill. He released the sketchbook 2024 and it was featured there. It was nice to see it there.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
It was sick.
Yeah.
That was a cool feeling to see it.
They could be mad at that too,
Yeah, it was at SDCC and they announced it, but yeah, I mean, again, not to rehash that whole argument, but it was bittersweet for me when I was excited about it. People were shitting on it for their own reasons. So we talked with Matt about this when he was here. Like, I'm sure people have their reasons. It's just when someone tells you, "Oh, you shouldn't do this," you're just gonna make me do it. Yeah, that's just who I am, bro. Keep telling me I can't do shit. I'm gonna keep pissing you off. I mean, that's just this is how I'm built. So, and we had a whole thread discussion with us five in there. And Free is someone who does both too, so he had some interesting perspectives on it. So, Free, how do you feel about the whole thing? Because you did bring up certain points that I didn't think about before.
Well, yeah, so I think it mainly started off, we're talking about it because, as y'all said, like about last year, it's about once a year now where people will come out on groups and they will, cry and complain about aftermarket sketches on different groups. And as you guys said, there may be different motives or not. From my perspective, hardcore sketch lover. Like, I love sketch cards. I think it's the best insert in card packs. There used to be one per box for a while there with Rittenhouse. Now they're about one per case, if not more than that, or less than that, I should say. But to me, collecting and hunting, when you're starting to delve into aftermarket, you do muddy the waters a little bit with resellers on like eBay or Facebook. So while I would never tell anybody what they should or shouldn't do with their own property and commissioning artists how to use that property, you should never tell anyone what to do with their own property, with their own art, who they can commission or not. But when it comes into eBay resellers, which there's actually quite a few eBay resellers, if you are in the sketch card market like I am, actively checking it every day, you do have to filter out through the aftermarket if you care about authenticity. A simple analogy would be the whole reason StockX exists. Imagine you're paying $200, $500, $1,000 for a pair of Jordans, and then you get a pair of Jordans and they're made in a different country. The stitches are wrong. it doesn't pass the legit check. That's the whole point of like legit checking was sneakers. Is if you're paying so much money on something, wouldn't you want it to be authentic? Another little analogy that I like to put is so I visit cons when I can. When I'm not broke, certain years I go to cons, and people will bring up books to like an artist to sign, and then they'll bring a book up to an artist, and then the artist would be like, "Oh, I didn't work on that book," and it's very awkward. And then the person's like, "Oh, I thought you were on this book." They're like, "Nope, never worked on it. You didn't do the cover? No," and they won't sign it. They won't sign it because it's not something they participated in. It becomes an awkward situation because it's never like a malice thing, but it's just a mix-up, and then it kind of becomes embarrassing to the artist. They're like, "Oh, well, this person thought they liked my art, but they didn't." Meanwhile, they won't sign a comic that they didn't work on. It's like an insult to them if you bring a comic. I don't know if you guys ever seen this or know what I'm talking about, but the artists kind of feel bad if you bring something to them that they didn't work on. So for me, as someone that likes to collect sketches from every set, going back to the 90s, I don't even have the 90s sets. I'm still looking for them, but I go for 2013 or I go for 2012. I go for beginnings. Doom is back after a decade. So now Doom has a bunch of sketches out. Well, part of the fun for me in hunting is to check the checklist. What artists worked on this checklist? Okay, put those eBay safe searches. Check ComC, check ePack. To me, it's a hunt. It's a challenge. I know I can commission any artist at any point at conventions or through IG DMs, and I do that too. I think a great way to learn about artists, especially the sketch card artists or the maybe unknown or lower tier artists that aren't even working in comics, you can find them through the sketch card checklist and then DM them on IG, commission them for an AP or even a PSC, which is a personal sketch card, much cheaper than the AP option. You'll get the same art for much less, get more bang for your buck. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts about it.
Yeah. I would say like the authenticity part is difficult because you it's authentic when the artist drew on it themselves. I guess it's hard to read authenticity if you think it's pack pulled, but it's not. And so you gotta do your due diligence and looking up if the artist was on the set or not. But
only if you care about that certain thing. A lot of people, will buy art because it looks good, and you can't tell them no because it's true. It does look good. There's plenty of artists that do great work on, maybe sets that they weren't even on or a part of, and there's no denying the art. But for kind of just like the more niche collectors or the more stringent collectors, I do love the challenge. To me, it's a challenge. It's I like to spend a year trying to find a set. Like I just recently posted a 2013 Flair Retro. We know how that set is sometimes hard to come by for certain inserts. So to have a sketch of Doom from someone that worked in the set a decade ago, to me that's awesome. To me the hunt is everything. And if there's too many eBay resellers, kind of muddying the waters, it does clutter the hunt. It clutters the feed. Even though it's a bunch of great art, it's not art from the sets that we're chasing. So that's just my perspective from it.
I think it's tough to even verify if it is, even if the artist is on that checklist, because some of these checklists are faulty. Like they don't reveal all the information wasn't available at that time. Right. So even if you want to go by those guidelines, it's still tricky because you still don't know if it was really made during that year or not.
To that point, do you remember the other day I sent you a photo of a bunch of like Premiere blanks? I mean, listen, that guy might be on set, but that guy has a lot of blanks. You know what I mean? He has like.
Well, and like even when Matt was here, he's saying Bianchi, like people were accusing Bianchi of holding counterfeit because he wasn't part of a set. When he just didn't get enough time to doing it. Yeah. But he had the blanks because he was given to them by Upper Deck. So
like what was it? 2 weeks prior to him having it submitted?
Yeah, like so you can't say he was on the set. The public just didn't know because the checklist didn't say it, and he wasn't able to do them with the time they gave him. So
yeah, to me, just to chime in real quick. I take every sketch at a like a case by case. For me, I start with what art looks better. Like for me, like when I look at even like for example Doom sketches, I know there are like the 3 APs you got, right? You got Bianchi, Sinkovich, and you got Patelis. I look at the 3, and then number 1, I pick who I think. If you didn't even let me read the back, or I didn't see the auto of each artist, obviously their art is pretty recognizable in their styles. But let's just say I was a noob and I didn't know which artist was who. I wouldn't go by who the artist is. First, I'd go by who I think made the best rendition of Doom for my taste. Then I would want to know who the artist is. And then the last thing I would want to know is if it's on Marvel, official Marvel cardstock or not. And then fourth, I would want to know if it was pack pulled or AP. All those for me
or
aftermarket. But that's just for me to be able to give you a price on what I think it's worth. But that's how I would price it. Like to me, art is art, but there's definitely better art than others, and that's the first thing I'm going to judge. Which is the better art? But that's just for me.
I think those are like those priorities move up or down with collector to collector, right? It's a case by case.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yep.
Which is why it's difficult just to try to make it seem like there should only be one way. Anytime you're gonna make a blanket statement, like it's a no-go.
Yeah.
But I understand those people's factors. It's also
because I'll just say this to your point. This is why it's so hard to have this conversation as far as agreeing on things. We could agree on certain points, but the reason is you guys know, we all know here that there's certain artists that obviously we won't name, or we could name. It's up to you guys. But there's artists that people pay $2,000-$3,000 for their sketch cards that I wouldn't even pay $500.
Yeah.
So again, but to that person, it was worth $3,000, but to me, it's not. So you guys could keep buying them.
Back pulled, and it was part. And I think that's a personal preference. That when you get to like what you're willing to pay, that's like everyone has their own preference in what they think is worth.
And maybe also it depends on how deep your wallet is. Let's be honest as well.
That's true. Yeah. But the only problem I've ever had is with those people who have bigger wallets, who do collect and do try to set the hierarchy. When you go out of your way and you don't show like the back of a sketch that you possibly picked up and it was an aftermarket, but you own it in your collection, but you're against aftermarkets and you're being a hypocrite at the same time, like that's where like, all right, so you're just talking all this shit, you're not even about your own word. So you just don't want people to have dope shit. And unfortunately, that's the other side of the hobby. In my 3 years here, and I've had discussion with all of you before. It's things I've learned is there's certain people in the hobby who don't want you to have what they have.
Things,
you know what?
You have the similar thing. They want. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say on that note, on that specific point, I've noticed that myself with being in 3 different, and Jonny could probably throw in his 2 cents with this because he collects so many other things even more than I do. Like when I compare Hot Wheels to Marvel to then when I was in Pokemon, Marvel is the most like divisive hobby. As a community, they're like the least united. But I will say that one of the things that I think it's because of the rarity involved in Marvel. With Pokemon, everybody, with Pokemon, everybody could own a Charizard card, any specific Charizard card, even a first edition. There's like thousands of 9s and only like 130 of the 10s. But people in our hobby don't even think out of 130 is rare. So I think that's what it comes down to. Like to your point, the people that have deep wallets, they're able to afford these out of 5s, these 1 of 1s, and a lot of other people can't. But that's again, it's because of the rarity and their wallets. Well, within Hot Wheels, you have Hot Wheels out of 1,500, out of 1,000, out of 5,000. So a lot of more people could participate in one single release. And I think that's what divides us more. The fact that some of these things are so rare. And then, again, you throw in 1 of 1s and OA into the mix, it makes it even worse.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know. We go back. We've talked for, I just checked. Like we started this podcast 2 years ago, like over 2 years ago. Our first episode was just me and you. But we've had like conversations about personality and all that, but bro, I just never cared if someone had dope shit too. Like I encourage it. Like I'm not one of those. I'm not trying to like keep
Like
everything to
be the one.
myself.
Yeah,
Right?
be the one, the only one that has like everything.
It's like each one teach one. Like I tried to, like even when Leo first, he wasn't even in cars. I'm like, yo, bro, look, this is dope. Come get the shit. Surgeon, we would hit me up about doing shit. Yo, look, this is sick. I just so when like people play a role when they're like, oh, maybe one day you'll get one of these, and like, and then I find out it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And then I find out like these are not that special, but they're
Okay, well, let me ask you
a lot
this.
of people just don't know. Like,
on that note that you're
why
saying,
am I holding like? Why are you even trying to dictate the hobby not to know about this shit?
Yeah, but just with one thing that you mentioned, I just wonder how truly you feel about it. Like when you said that you're not worried about other, or you never want to be like the only one. How would you feel though if someone hits up Bianchi and goes, you know what, I want a Doom sketch on the same Marvel stock that Doom had it on, and I want the exact same pose.
I think being the exact same art,
Yes.
then you're fucking with people. Because
well,
then you're just blatantly trying to like make.
What if they really
unique.
like what you? What if they really liked what you did?
All right, ask for a different thing. I didn't ask for a specific thing.
So, for an example, just to cherry pick off that for a second, a big kind of danger in the like hobby recently, and it's actually been going on for a while for sketch cards, is there's actually people that are copying sketches and putting out that same sketch for sale. So it's like people that have sketches in their collection. There's aftermarkets out there that literally a one-to-one ripoff. You'll see the minor differences, but it's literally forgery and a copy of the sketch,
mimicking style and everything. Yep.
Everything. No, mimicking the whole image. Literally, it's a one for one, and that is another just little small danger that you could run into. You think you're paying for the original when it's actually a counterfeit of the original.
That was my point. Just to continue, and that's what I was bringing up though, dude, because that's why I think it does mean something when it's pack pulled, because. Again, we know the lineage of
who
the
had
Secret
it
Wars.
first.
Correct.
Right.
We know the lineage of the Secret Wars 10 sketch that I got from you. We know that it was a pack pulled Martinic sketch. That doesn't stop Free or Sergio from going to ask Martinic for the same sketch. But the difference is theirs was not the pack pull.
Well, now
and that's the only thing that's going to differentiate the two.
Well, that's where artist ethics play a factor. Are you willing to recreate something that's been done by another artist? Are you going to mimic their style? Are you trying to do a one for one? And it happens, right? We saw it with the Max Attack guy on eBay and, a bunch of artists out there. And again, it happened to me. I was commissioning a sketch card by an artist, and he ended up duplicating one of the homie sketches. And then I went off on him like, yo, fuck this. Give me my refund. You can't be doing that shit. That's fucked up. He acted like, oh, sorry, I didn't know the rules, and he's still doing it. But people know like he's been duplicating his own sketches on same Wolverine twice, the same Venom twice, doing it from statues and all that shit. I didn't go public because you try to be cool in the hobby. You try to not, it wasn't even my mess. It was a homie who bought one, and he's the one that got fucked, and I got mad for him. So when I commissioned one, I'm like, yo, no, dog, give me my refund, and you better stop doing this shit. This is whack. And I don't know if he has or not. But I've seen duplicates show up at these card shows when I'm like, oh yeah, that one, yeah, I've seen that one about 3 or 4 times already. That specific sketch, he's still doing it.
That's why it's tricky again, because look, the other thing that comes to mind even what you're saying is we've talked about in Sergio as well as a huge fan of Bengus, right? The guy who did the Capcom versus Marvel. Like, there's that Wolverine. I've always told you that I really love the way that Wolverine was done. What happens if I commission someone to replicate the exact same pose? Just because I really enjoyed it, because Bengus is probably not available for me to commission him, or if so, maybe I don't have the connection to get
all right,
to
so
him.
here's and I've heard this even from some of the other people don't want to show their sketches because they're gonna get reinterpreted. Once people see them, they're gonna duplicate it. All right, so what's the point of owning a sketch card if you're not you can't even show it? What's the point of that?
I think the argument for some people, which is not for me, because obviously you guys know me, I show everything. But there's some people that for sure don't show anything.
Yeah, but if you don't show it, how do I know yours is the right one? How do I know yours is not the fake?
Yeah, I don't know.
At what point do we, So it's a tricky thing. Can someone try to duplicate my Bianchi sketch? Yeah, absolutely. Can they duplicate Bianchi's work? That's gonna be. Yeah, I'm sure some people can master it because they've counterfeited. I'm sure like high end art has been counterfeited and redone. But I'm not gonna let that like stop me from showing what I have. Like it's an achievement, right? It's something we celebrate. It's art, and technically anything published can be duplicated. So why is original art hold value at that point? I'm not gonna let that dictate how I collect. Yeah,
exactly. It goes. Look, that's how you know we all agree on one point that the reason OA has value is because it came from a published piece, right? Not because someone
even commissioned. Well, even Matt Datillo's here. Some commissions are being commissioned. They're so good, then they get submitted for published artwork.
Well, that's dope. That means, but that's different because let's be honest, that's luck. Because most likely the person that bought their piece when it was already a published piece paid more than the guy who paid as a commission, and then it became published.
I don't think original art being published authenticates it. I think it just adds value to it.
What do you? Well, we get here free. Well, how do you feel about that? Do you agree with that? What I'm saying? Do you feel like if it's a published piece, just for argument's sake, if it's the same artist and it's the same quality art, should it be worth more than an unpublished piece?
So, my response to that would be, it's not what I think or what you think. It's what the market would dictate. Cover recreations happen all the time.
Yeah,
Bob Layton is notorious. He loves his Iron Man covers. Everyone loves them. Why wouldn't he do them for personalized one-of-one artworks that you could go to con, pick one up, have one done, pre-done? So to have an original art one-of-one recreation is a treat. You're not going to be able to afford the original. The original's $50,000 to $250,000. So recreations are a great alternative, but yeah, the recreations, simply put, are going to have 1,000x, decrease because it's not the one-of-one published original. So, like I said, it doesn't really matter to our opinions. It's more about, and I'm going to tie this really quickly back to sketch cards, just because the way I see pack pulled is published. You are publishing product to put on retail stores that people have to purchase, whereas commissions are APs, PSCs, AMs. Those are commissions, which they're great. You just like Sergio said, you're supporting the artist way more than you're supporting them through Upper Deck or Tops, whoever's going to have it. And then, so you're doing a service by commissioning more so the artist. You can go either route. And then the last thing is, we just don't need people to try to police hobbies. I think that's like a big point, right? It's like you don't want hobby police out there dictating what people can and can't do. But just know that there's markets for reasons.
In the label of being a collector, right? Because that's what bothers people. Like you're doing it in like
a false pretense.
Yeah, like a wholesome or you try to spin it into a wholesome thing for the hobby. No, you're doing it to protect what you've invested, clearly. Like if you're looking into published versus non-published, it's about value and maintaining the value. It's also tricky, and I get the whole you think it's a published thing when cards are pack pulled. APs have to be approved technically by Upper Deck and Marvel if you're dealing, but we know not all sketch artists do it. Most probably don't even send to get approved.
Yeah, I'm gonna say probably nowadays it's probably like 90% don't go through the approval process.
One thing that this is gonna throw you guys off maybe, but it just came to me and it's true. And when you said something about people that definitely want to protect the bag, I don't blame them at the same time because obviously they probably put a lot of money into it. And the best comparison I have for that, and I didn't see this as a child, right? And I don't think neither did you guys growing up, because we're just kids fucking around the block, whether you're on your bike, skateboard, whatever you mess with. But if you notice now, that's the reason HOAs exist when you own a house. You don't want the guy who's going to be doing his oil changes on the damn driveway with the oil spills. That's going to decrease the value of the whole neighborhood. Why would someone else's actions dictate the value of your home? So I think that's what it comes down to. I think people want to retain. Hold on real quick. So I think that's what it is, man. Like, people want to retain the value for what they put their hard money towards, like hard-earned money. Like, I don't want my neighbor as actions to affect me. So that makes sense for me. But we haven't heard from Jonny at all. Jonny, how do you feel about this whole thing,
man? I'm kind of with Doom on it. Like, I think it's kind of like whatever you want to collect, the way you want to collect, it should be okay. Yeah. But it's like, like was brought up, that there's that gray area. Like, if the sketch artist is like doing multiples of the same one, that might be a problem. But like, I do think like the pack pulled cards or like the incentive cards do have a little bit of an extra cool factor. Mm-hmm. But like, a lot of times if you can only access the artist to get that one commission, the aftermarket commission, yeah, by all means. I mean, and on top of that, you can get what you want. You can tell them what you want on the card, which is cool. But yeah, I think there's really no wrong.
And a lot of this is avoided if the scans are shown for the original pack pull. Like, we talk about incentive sketches. Warren Martinek has a website where you can see every single incentive sketch he did. And there's a whole library of images there, so you can double check if yours is the correct one. Unfortunately, Upper Deck doesn't provide that service.
Right, that would be huge.
Right, so even if we want to say, well, this is pack pull because the artists don't okay, you're still putting faith in that. That's true.
Well, one way I would say I guess the only way then at that point is EPAC. EPAC, at least you can be pretty confident. Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get it. And then nowadays, we know how Upper Deck was, or not for long, but they have like 50% of the product is on EPAC. So at least you can be safe to say anything you're getting off of EPAC is. But
EPAC, you can lock it away and then it's gone. You can't see the scan. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not even that accessible. And I'm sure there's tricks because people get scans of product before it's even pulled. So some people know a trick to see all the scans out there before it even gets pulled. They should just have that available at all times for archive purposes. But I'm sure they don't.
And then there's autos that never even come out.
Or whatever. Yeah. Well, again, then there's sketches that are sent there and they never come out. And, until someone dies and is in a state and sells things and they're
in the Upper Deck's replacement program, bro. That's where they're at. They're sitting there.
Hey, man.
Waiting for an influencer to
send
a message. Waiting for influencers, and not the little guys.
Waiting for someone to send in a damaged PMG and they get a little Bianchi auto in return.
Right.
Yeah, man. Like, I understand. Like, but to that point, the HOA analogy, it's not my fault you paid $3,000 for something I don't think should be $3,000, and now you got shit on my investment or whatever. My $500 sketch because you're trying to protect your $3K sketch that I think is whack. Like, it's not on me to protect your investment. That's on you, dog. You got finesse. That's you.
That's my point. That's what I was saying. I think they have the right to attempt to protect it. You know what I mean? That's all.
But
whether they're right or wrong, that's on them.
Post it publicly and do your whole manifesto, but miss me with that bullshit. Like, let me. I mean, like, at the end of the day, I collect what I think is dope, and again, dope shit only. # dope shit only. Yeah, that's all we rock with. I respect the way Free does it too. He doesn't compare prices with names.
No, right? He pays the same for both.
You just go for whatever you want.
He pays the same for both.
Shout out to Nathan. I was talking to Nathan earlier today. He's like, yo, I don't even understand who's who or what artist is what. I just like what I like.
There you go.
Yeah, aftermarket, non-AP aftermarket, whatever it is. Like, I understand values played into it, but just because you invested a lot of it into it, don't put that responsibility on me. Make better decisions, because when it hit my shit hits open market, it's probably gonna outdo what you do. So that's on you. Get the right
Pick the
artist.
right shit. Pick the right
Pick
stuff.
the right shit. Make the right decision. Choose wisely.
Yeah, 100%.
That's it. I hope everyone has fun with the sketches. I mean,
Yeah, I think everybody does have fun for the most part. It's just like you said, every once in a while, people like to like throw out their opinions and
yeah. And word is, Upper Deck lost the license, so have fun with Fanatics, right? Because they're definitely doing sketches, right? They didn't just stop producing sketches in Star Wars, right?
That's true.
You have to go to aftermarkets now, dog? No, but you're against aftermarket, so I don't know what you're going to do.
Well, I don't know if you remember that little meme or the little reel I tagged you guys in, or I showed you guys that about a sports guy talking about how he doesn't fuck with Fanatics and how, only breakers get the hits. So I don't know how that's going to go with Marvel too, bro. Let's be honest.
It was happening. It was happening with Upper Deck. So can we expect anything else?
Nope, we cannot.
Should we expect anything else?
That's why, again, dope shit only, vintage shit only for me. You know what I mean? This is something that they cannot manipulate.
Personally, I respect vintage, but I like the modern shit too. I get it though.
Me too, but my point is, I'm going to be picky on what I get versus I'm not going to be breaking. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not,
right?
But I've never been a breaker to begin with. So.
And yeah, what do you guys think about this whole rumor that seems more like less of a rumor, more of like something's just going to happen? Marvel going to Fanatics and possibly being produced by Topps. I don't know. Like, I've heard a lot of optimism around, but all I've heard in return of like actual actions with the Star Wars when they took over is negative things. So why are we so optimistic? Right? Not to be pessimist, right? I'm a wait and see, and I hope it's something positive. But the track record's not looking great. So
yeah, based on the track record.
Other than like, okay, Topps is gonna market it, Marvel's gonna go crazy. All right, so you get a bigger audience. Are they just gonna do like 4 platinums in a row? Like, you cool with that? Like, are they gonna have comic cuts? Are they gonna have sketch cards?
There's
no PMGs, no jambalayas, no platinum portraits, no Upper Deck, like signature insert.
To me too, what's gonna be funny is that a lot of people complained that there was definitely some truth to it, but how this Marvel market, as small as it was manipulated. What do you guys think is going to happen when more money comes into it? It's going to be even more manipulated. Like, let's just put it this way: did you guys see any of those Kith cards, the one of ones? Because I never saw one.
No, I never
saw. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, all right.
I'm sure one has fallen onto Aoki's hand by now.
Yeah, a Wolverine one, huh?
Yeah.
And even though we had to buy from David Adams and Steel City, and like, now you got to go through breakers.
Yeah,
that's most the majority. Like, some shops, it's mostly breakers who get direct distribution from Fanatics.
I will say though, I hope that they do continue the path of. I think I sent you guys a post the other day that people are getting like unreleased product and then opening it like prior to release day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that everybody wants to be like first to market, but like, just let it naturally like come out, and. If you guys rip before that, like if you guys have some like kind of clandestino like whatnot, whatever, like dude, take away their freaking allocations. Like, open it when release day hits.
I guess what I would like to know from people, and hopefully people listening can leave a comment on this episode, like, for those who are very optimistic with Marvel going to Topps, is it just because you have a disdain with Upper Deck and how they've done stuff with cards lately, or what is the optimism that Upper Deck couldn't achieve outside of maybe just growing an audience and driving value up for the cards you already own?
I think I'll answer that for you. For me, because I remember talking about a Topps Marvel card set since like 3 years ago with Brian, and shout out to Victor. instead of the hobby. Like I always thought it was a good idea if they had black refractors and out of 10s. Pretty much what they did for platinum, right?
Yeah, but you're not a fan of platinum, though.
No, well, here's why though. But to your point, to your question, I think what I was looking forward to is someone that was going to pick the art better than Upper Deck did, and then have better quality control, which they did, by the way. At the time, Topps clearly had better quality control than Upper Deck. And then, someone that really cared about actual collectors like Rittenhouse. I thought maybe this was a chance for that to happen. But then as time went on, like you said, we've always said, as you go on in the hobby and you learn more things, you see that everybody's going to treat it as they're the banker in Monopoly. Like, it makes sense now that we found out that they were going to lose the license, because look how much product they've been they're just printing money right now as much as they can while they can. Come on, jumbo comic clippings. Come on.
Hey, look, some people enjoy that. At least,
and shout out to those people.
No, well, not only that, jumbo juice goes.
Yeah, let's get some pixelated stretched images.
So, since just a quick question, because I know that this may be a complete polar opposite of what we're talking about, but let's talk about comic clippings for a second, because me and Jonny threw a couple jokes back and forth to each other the other night. Let's think about it. Look, some of these comic cuts that go for sale for let's say $200. And I can show you a cut like Jonny. I could buy this comic 5 times over, bro. It's just ridiculous. Right. We're
that's the Manu argument, though. Yeah, but look, it comes down to being that's the whole Manu versus Justin argument about the jumbo clip.
Ooh.
One of them is numbered and it's gonna retain value because it becomes a collectible, just like a CGC graded book and a raw book. It's the same thing. It's just it becomes instantly valued because it's licensed. That's all it is.
Listen,
so
I'm
people,
gonna go buy
people know they
comics.
can go get the book for $5, but guess what? The cut ain't worth $5.
I'm gonna go buy 5 of those things, send it to Johnny's homeboy, make me a custom, little comic cut, all the fire comic cuts,
Yeah, but when you put them on eBay, they ain't selling, dog. They ain't selling because they're custom.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But it's not for eBay though. It's for me. That's the deal.
That's because your
then have at it.
perspective is for you. But people buying that shit is because there's value attached to it, dog. That's the whole.
Yeah, because I'll be honest on that note. Look, there is a guy, and I don't want to put him down. There's several, but there's one that stands out to me that when I started doing whatnot, he would do custom cards. And dude, some of his custom cards look dope, but they're just not for. They're not for me. Yeah. They look dope as hell, but maybe if I was given one as a gift, I'd keep it for sure. But I'm not gonna go out of my way and pay you $25 because you got a couple pair of scissors and some duct tape. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's just the way you collect doesn't make sense. But the people who are doing that, they're collecting with value attached to it.
I think it's the same.
Investing, collecting, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I think the highest level of that is the that one brand Pigsy, or what is it called? Pigs Banks or
Piggy Banks?
I'm trying to
understand what's going on there. I'm not really too sure what's going on with the Piggy Banks thing, but
me neither. I see they sell for $1,000 even. I don't understand it. I've never looked into it. I don't know if it's legit, if it's a scam, if it's a pyramid scheme. I don't know what it is. But shout out to everybody who enjoys your shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
and I recently saw something with called Saturday morning cartoons or something like that. So it's like a new release, and they had Winnie the Pooh, and they had Steamboat Willie, and they had the Crackle and the One of One. Have you guys heard of that at all? Or not?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
What is it? Saturday morning cartoon, is it? But it was interesting. Listen, it's. I mean, there's gonna be people that like collecting that stuff, like the Prism Winnie the Pooh. Again, that's the new wave. That's how they're getting everybody to come into the hobby spaces, to get the people that want the short number. But I will say it is crazy because now that you're releasing some of these card sets that are up to hey, number to 90, even the number to 99, you're gonna see a lot of these cards sit around because the audience still is so small for Marvel card collectors that cards are still very available.
Yeah, one thing not to switch it up.
Depends on the product and the set.
My bad. I was gonna say on the note of influencer boxes and all and breakers and all that stuff. It's unfortunate, man, but I think it's inevitable that that's where the hobby's going, more so and more so. Because one thing I noticed myself, there is people, right now, as you guys said, at the start, we all were talking about all this Marvel news, which is all great news for the most part. And I noticed myself that there was a lot of people that were MIA from the hobby. And as soon as this Kith drop happened and this and that, I'm seeing their people in the same photos with them. I'm like, oh, what happened to that guy? He wasn't even in Marvel for a cool minute. Now he's back. Anytime there's money to be made, people come with in flocks.
Yeah,
that's the thing too, though, and we can't control that.
And I think if and when Fanatics takes over Marvel, whatever first product is gonna be a hit because it's gonna be the new thing.
Yeah,
and people are gonna try it out. And I'm open to seeing if they really do take care of the current collector, which I'm not sure they are.
No.
If they're going for a different audience, they're going for the sports audience. Maybe it's just going to be Topps Chrome Marvel, like different version 1, version 2, version 3. Maybe they're, some of these creative cards that you're used to in Upper Deck aren't going to be available. And is that going to push people away? Are those people then going to be swayed into, oh, look, but they're doing Batman versions of these. Oh, Superman version. Like, are they going to go DC Upper Deck because Upper Deck has some of the most nostalgic and top selling inserts of designs of all time? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see, right? Just how it goes.
What's interesting to me on that note too, like once Fanatics takes over and you do see I have a feeling somehow, like you said, when the first set comes up, a lot of sports guys are going to be selling it. Now you're going to be able to go do trades with that set. I wonder how those dealers are going to react if you approach their table with some of the older sets.
PMGs.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to be like, oh, hey, no, is that Upper Deck? Yeah, we don't take that as trade.
Right? Are they? Gonna, I doubt it because across sports cards, like those inserts are respected and valued, right? Like,
well, what about Rittenhouse then?
Rittenhouse took care of the collector's collector, right? And the value's not there. Arguably, they have the best design comic cuts. They don't have retained the same value as some of these other ones. Like, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day because y'all mentioned it a lot about how all these new collectors, let's say the Platinum Wave, are they going to look at the old sets? Are they going to invest into the old sets? Do they care about the old sets? And I was thinking about this, and I was like, I don't think so because put it this way, comic collectors. And I remember when y'all had me on the first time. I was like, there's people in the comic shops. There's modern collectors, but then there's the vintage people at the cons. They have the same books from the 60s. They're never going to get into moderns. I mean, even y'all on the panel talk about vintage over modern in comics. So to me, when I look at cards, it's the reverse. It's modern over vintage, and in comics, it's vintage over modern.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of the other way, and you've seen that change in the Pokemon space too, right? But
I think it moves like a wave. Like I think it comes in and out. I think there's like
every 20 years.
Yeah, or maybe hopefully less though, right? But
I don't know. Bro. It might be more.
We don't. Yeah, for sure we don't. But I'm saying in general, I think there's times where like vintage is hard and then modern is hard. You see that even with watches. Like watches, some people fuck with nothing but modern, and some people want nothing but vintage watches. And then that wave dies down, and then it comes back again.
The only difference I do see, and the only thing where I would say like Rittenhouse does hold up is the things that are unique to it, but they haven't been duplicated. Robert Downey Jr., on card auto, right? Like things like that. The Spider-Man autos that were there.
The Hulk autos by Edward Norton.
The Hulk auto.
Yeah.
Certain things like that. I mean, I'm just leaving it open because I'm not optimistic, and I hear a lot of optimism, and I'm just interested why. Like we haven't seen the reason why, but I would love to know what people think and why they think it will be.
But the reason I'm like, I don't want to say impartial, but for sure I'm not worried either way, is because when I got into Marvel, and started collecting, I didn't start collecting with the thought of, oh, I wonder what set's going to come out next. I started collecting because I liked the shit that was already out.
Right. To people who are going into that, I think there's going to be a new, bigger audience, and they're going to be sports collectors, baseball, like people who are breaking. They're going to mama breaks to go get, cards, like people like that who are just constantly hitting up breakers. And they're going to get into it one way or another. I don't know if they'll go back into like the archive, right? Mm-hmm. But it's I don't know. It's an interesting time, man.
It is.
We'll see what happens. I also don't want to come across as pessimistic, but I don't see it. What do I know? Maybe they change. What and I was talking to some guys earlier this week, because that's been the chatter around the hobby. What if they just go full TCG and go, hey, let's do a physical Marvel snap, and we're not even gonna do what y'all think we're gonna do. We're gonna do a Pokemon-esque Marvel over here.
Talking about Marvel versus system?
No, not Marvel versus system, because that didn't take off. But we're not. our model is not gonna follow Upper Deck's model. Our model is gonna be Magic the Gathering's model.
Why are you saying our? Hold on, though. Why are you saying our? Why are you saying our? Hold on there. My Spidey senses went off right there.
Well, I'm saying as Fanatics. What if Fanatics goes like, why are you even expecting what you see over there? That's not what we plan. Okay. Like how is the current hobby of collectors gonna react to that, right? Because if they're going for a new audience and they're going for a more broad audience, why would they serve to a niche audience to begin with? The most graded, the most sold is Pokemon.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they adopt that from Marvel now that they have the license? Or do both. Question. Or maybe do one of each.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe you do one for them, one for the collectors.
And in that case, do we become the old guard? Shout out to Tim. I think Tim mentioned that. Do we become the old guard? Yeah.
Another thing, too, to your point about that Pokemon thing and what business strategy they end up going with, I think it also depends on whether they believe that these modern Pokemon slabs are going to be around in 10 years. What if this strategy is working for Pokemon right now, but it's not going to work long term?
Yeah, but that strategy has been working for how long?
Well, in the past 3 years. Because before then...
but I mean the Pokemon strategy.
Well, the Pokemon strategy, but I'm talking about when I got into Pokemon, I wasn't looking at modern at all, and no one was. Like for the most part, there was a small percentage.
Yeah, there was a small percent, and
now it's the opposite. Yeah, now
because you got second, 20 years later generation who was like, "No, we're fucking with this new shit."
Damn, well, I have to pack up my bags and wait 20 years.
Yeah, you're definitely old guard in Pokemon, Doug. You're still looking at you're looking at half auto, like hollows, not full arts. No, you're not even looking at textured full art. Like, come on, bro. You sound like a boomer. You know what I mean? Like,
wow.
Get that Watsy shit out of here, dog.
Wow, you sound vaccinated.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's vaccinated. That's crazy.
Well, the boomers one. Yeah, never mind.
That's a Patreon. We can't do that.
That's a free episode. That's a free conspiracy episode.
We'll say they don't go Pokemon. Let's say it's platinum times 1,000. We can all agree platinum is insanely liquid currently, right?
Yes.
Can the hobby be sustained? Is there enough money in our bank accounts and our wallets to repeat this, let's say 3 to 4 times a year through tops? Can this be sustainable?
Yes, I think yes to a certain degree as far as the out of 5s and out of 10s, like you said, are super liquid. The out of 25s, cosmics, I think up to out of 100s, super liquid. After that, there's a huge crazy dip.
I think technically it can, but you're gonna need a different audience, a sports audience who's used to year in, year out. I'm chasing the animal print, fucking the tiger, whatever,
zebra.
And I'm chasing the refractor 101s, and then like the out of 10s or the mojos or whatever, and you're just changing the artwork. Now, this audience right now, the reason why platinum and why I put it, I sounded like a loony not too long ago, calling it a top 5 set, because it was the only one who implemented that type of product. If you're doing that product every year or multiple times a year, like how many of the current collectors who are putting money, investing in platinum, are going to keep doing it for a set that looks just like it 5 times in a row?
That's my question.
I don't think so. I think it worked for Upper Deck because, and let's call it, just call it what it is. Upper Deck basically stole Topps Chrome and did it and called it platinum. Like that's all it was. And it worked because it didn't exist. The only thing close to it was what? Was that shitty one that people like or didn't like?
Vibranium.
What's that? Vibranium, that shit. Like that was a flop.
Yeah.
This was the actual version.
Yes,
I'm
something
gonna
with
get Bill Sienkiewicz. I'm gonna get some comics great. I'm gonna do 100 original art, 100 comic art. Like it was set up nice.
Yeah.
If you pump that out every year or 2 times a year, like it's not unique anymore.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think it comes
You
down
need a
to,
different audience.
Yeah, and I also think it comes down to like what art choice they're gonna do every single release. And part of me thinks that, but then you look at sports and they buy the same fucking guy in a picture with 1,000 parallels. So I don't know.
But that's pumped in because there's new rookies, there's new spec. This one, it's all the same IP. You're gonna see 1,000 Spider-Mans, 1,000 Wolverines.
Yeah.
It doesn't play in it. You can't play the same way when you're banking on new players. Like it's.
Yeah, like I noticed, I don't know why it took me a while, but I noticed like that one of the X entries from the Flair Ultra Wolverine is the Weapon X Jambalaya artwork.
Yeah, they reused
Like,
it.
bro, come on.
And apparently, like, even though a lot of us speculate maybe they don't have the full library, they've themselves said they have the full library. So they're just doing it because they're being lazy. I don't know. Like, they're reusing the same artwork. Hopefully that changes. I think in the last 6 months, whatever product we've seen has been better than the last 2 years, though. I'll give them that much. I think Upper Deck's done a better job.
I think with the exception of X-Men Metal, yes.
Yeah, X-Men Metal, yeah.
Quality control was the only thing you could complain about.
The control, yeah, the PMG color was off and like it was choppy cuts, but like the inserts were great. They brought platinum portraits, purely periodics. Even the arc welds and all that were like you go back to them now, they're pretty dope. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, for sure. And you know, I don't know if you guys have seen like the tease of the DC annual, but it was on SDCC. Like, I think they were showing it off there. It looks good, man. The design looks good. Yep. For an annual set, it looks strong. Like, it looks better. It looks like way better than the Marvel annual design, just for the card itself. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe they're putting more attention because it's the only thing they have now, and like, you know, they're listening to the collectors. But I'm excited for that. Go ahead, Jonny. What are you gonna say, Jonny?
Yeah.
No, I remember back in the day when I still had Gecko Books. The owner Ted, we used to always talk. I mean, talk for hours. A lot of time I go and pick up my monthly pulls, and I remember him telling me like when DC does like a you know, gives out their license, they're very protective of it. So I'm wondering if like they have eyes on like the cards, and maybe they have like a little closer eye on like what art they use, what art, you know.
Yeah.
I remember him telling me that it was like, because even with it was about the hero clicks. If you guys remember when those came out.
Yeah.
So if you look at the old Marvel hero clicks, I mean, they look decent, but when they did the DC hero clicks, the sculpts and everything was just way better. And that was like, I still remember that conversation. And he was like, yeah, like when DC lends out their license for whatever it is, cards, toys, they're very protective of their IP. So like they have like eyes on it at all times. So I noticed that when had the annual samples, like all the artwork I noticed was like, wow, yeah, that's strong. Because the Marvel one, not so much. But the DC, they picked all really good art from all the samples they were showing, I noticed.
Yeah. They're doing, and like the annual, like there's a lot of Jenny Frizz in there, like the Harley Quinn. it looks legit, and any DC product like the HRO look good in hand. Like the artwork's dope on those. Those didn't hit off because they're very niche, like hybrid NFT, hybrid physical. Cryptozoic. If you've opened a Cryptozoic or you've touched any of their cards, like they're nice. Like they're not. They don't feel cheap. Even though it's mostly like DC universe, like the cinematic or the TV universe. But yeah, that may be true. Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
You'd want someone to be there just managing, making sure it's up to par.
Well, they got Jim Lee over there too. I think that helps.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Last thing, just to say, the last thing about what we're talking about, the old and new. I think the sad reality too, man, is that when everything is in a down market, the base of the collectors are what keeps it alive. And then when everything rises again, then you see all these other people jumping on the wagon. But for the most part, collectors keep hobbies alive during bad times. But right now, it's not a bad time, so it's not about the collectors.
Right.
Yeah, it's growing.
How much say do you think Jim Lee has on like the yay, the nay, like on the DC card sets? Obviously, he has a finger on it, but like, how deep do you think he's like involved?
I think he has people, teams on. I don't think he's like. I doubt it. He's got way too much shit.
Probably delegates it to other folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, they were dropping Jim Lee sketches in that set, right? The DC set.
The Cryptozoic one, Dark Knight's Metal, for sure. It was announced that he was doing some. I'm assuming they're gonna do the same thing with DC products. Maybe not annual, but like bigger sets.
I gotta ask you, dude, because like the other day we saw a sketch selling for somewhere near like the $10,000-ish range. Mm-hmm. If that artist is selling a sketch for $10,000, how much does a Jim Lee sketch sell for?
Oh, bro, yeah, yeah. I mean, look, someone pulled the Wolverine Sienkiewicz from Platinum. They didn't put it for 15,000 LBO. Like, I don't know how much they're actually gonna get. You telling me a Jim Lee pack pulled Batman, Joker? Yeah, double that, triple that, like quadruple it, like whatever that. That's probably going to be the most expensive pack pulled sketch card sold. We're gonna see some before even Upper Deck releases any, because Cryptozoic is gonna drop them if they don't cancel that release, which it doesn't seem like. I know there's an artist doing a signature for a promo card at San Diego Comic-Con for that set. So it seems like it's full rollout, fourth quarter of the year it's going to release. So we're going to see some DC sales pop up.
Yeah.
And you best bet people spending $3,000 on whatever right now are going to be dropping double.
What's the whatever?
Whatever they choose. Like, I'm not trying to shit on artists, but you telling me Jim Lee's not gonna demand triple that? All right, but
yeah, but then again, we go back to what we talked about. Like, even if he does demand triple that, that's out of our price ranges anyway. So it won't be in any of our hands.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, you ain't gonna see me spending $3,000 on nothing.
Well, let alone $9,000. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. Yeah. But the cool thing is, look, that's the fun part.
But I'm not hating on them. Whoever gets it, right?
I mean, yeah.
And they shouldn't hate on me if I pop up with something similar. You know what I mean? Like, it should work that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In theory, we're all collectors, right?
Yeah. The cool thing is that there's a lot of cool stuff to look forward to for Marvel. For me, it's not so much the cards, but now it's the MCU. And that's the way it was early on. Like, for me, like when I didn't know nothing about Marvel cards, all my focus was on the MCU. Then I switched over to Marvel cards. And
I feel like if you're into Marvel and you came in that way, because I was into the movies too, and I came in that way, I didn't know anything about the cards. DC's been cooking lately.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
DC, like, first of all, we see the trailer for Joker 2 with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
How do you feel about that? that casting choice.
I like it. I think it's its own world, right? This is not Batman animated Harley. This is not that side of Joker. This is its own thing, and I like the.
No, but I just mean in like comparison to Margot Robbie.
I like it. I think it's its own thing. Like it's it's a timepiece, right? This is what, in the 70s, 80s. I don't even know when this is supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's not like a modern Harley, right? Yeah, it's and I think when you get, I mean, the way the I can only judge it from the trailer. It looks like it's some psychological like play, and this whole being a musical thing will have a metaphor to it. That's what it feels like. I'm just excited to see how it rolls out. I enjoyed what I saw though.
Nice.
And I like the tone. It's a little weird. It's not what I remember from Suicide Squad, and you see Margot Robbie playing Harley, right? It's the whole different tone. Penguin series is coming out on Max.
Yeah.
That one looks crazy. I know, Johnny, we were talking about earlier. I think that one's based like a couple weeks after the events of the Batman.
Yeah. So
right?
from what I read, it's a little bit after the first Batman movie, and then by the end of the series, it's supposed to be like right when Batman 2 is going to start.
Right.
So it's interesting. So it's definitely something, and it looks really good. The trailer, it looks amazing.
The quality is there. It looks like the film, like an extended version of.
Yeah, like it doesn't have like a cheaper feel to it. It's like a continuation of the film.
And it seems like we're gonna be getting into more like the what do you call it? The political stuff in the streets.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
dope. That's cool.
The inner workings of Gotham. So that's gonna be a nice continuation. Talking about Jim Lee, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Will Eisner Comic Industry Hall of Fame.
Well,
Nice.
Shout out to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's a little redundant, He's already
Popular vote. Also, again, there's 4 creators inducted. One of them being Mignola. You get Jim Lee and Mignola in the same like class. That's crazy. And I know I've talked about this before. Harley Quinn. If you guys haven't checked out Harley Quinn on Max, the animated series, it's rated mature, a lot of jokes, a lot of violence, hilarious. Check it out. Season 5 coming in November. I'm excited about that. I didn't know about it for many years, but it's sick. They're introducing new animated series on Max. Creature Commandos. This has like a Suicide Squad feel. Like I don't know. It's like a team thing. I'm not too aware of all these, characters, but you have like Frankenstein, Wife of Frankenstein, and some other guys in there, and it's interesting, bro. It looks like Mignola artwork. I don't know. It's a dope look to it.
Oh, it does, yeah.
I'm excited
just
to
that
see.
angular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they announced it with the new logo, which is kind of like a retro to, I think, 70s to like 2005, where they used that logo, just updated a little bit. So it's cool, man. They're really pumping out content. And I think there was another announcement. I forget. Just a bunch of like animated films that are still coming out. There's a Watchmen, I think, film that's in parts that's coming out. So it's dope to see. Plus, again, all the Superman like snippets of them filming and shit. So it's cool, bro. I'm looking forward to DC. I think the next decade is gonna be DC.
Like leading what?
I think they're gonna move up now with this Doom. Like it changed, right? I think they had an advantage, but the way Deadpool and Wolverine like it sounds like reviews like they're going back to their opening rated R violence. We're gonna get Punisher, right? We're gonna get Daredevil. We're gonna get some good shows.
I gotta ask Johnny, without giving a spoiler, what would you rate the violence, the gore? Like, did it feel like an R movie other than maybe some like kind of like sexual?
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, there's a lot of gore.
Plenty of that. Yeah.
Well, can you give me a number scale? The ones I haven't seen, and no spoilers. Like, obviously 10 being the most bloody. Like, what would you say?
More than Punisher?
For a Marvel movie.
I would say right about there. I would give it. It's hard to give anything a 10. I would give it like a 9, maybe a 9.5.
Wow.
It's not for small kids.
Now, is that a
Yeah,
CGC
definitely.
9.5 or a BGS 9.5?
Let's say CGC.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Who's BGS again? Oh, my bad.
Like an 8.
Oh, wow. Hey, what's you guys forget? Like all this DC talk, but what's around the corner is the Cape Crusader animated series.
Great Crusader, August
Yeah.
1st.
Yeah.
Little controversial today. It was announced that Penguin is going to be a woman. So I know that pissed off some of the people out there. I'm still looking forward to it. It's based in like 40s.
Oh, Minnie Driver. Yeah,
What
she's
is
gonna
she
be
like a little torta or what?
Oh,
I don't know. Where was it posted? I'm trying to find it.
yeah. It says Minnie Driver voicing gender swapped Penguin.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a villain, so I'm not too worried about it. But
Yeah.
And it's a different I mean, we saw Harley Quinn's gonna be a different interpretation. It didn't exist in the 40s. She was created for the Batman animated series. That was 92, 93. So again, this is just a different universe, right?
that's the thing that I have the hardest part getting used to. It's the amount of content, just the sheer amount, but also the fact that all this content follows its own fucking timelines and its own rules.
It's its own rules, its own time.
Yeah. Where
Own
before it was so
interpretation.
simple, like in the 90s, that it was just either the Batman animated series, the Spider-Man animated series, and the movies. That was it. There was
For us though, but if you were following the comics, you're already used to it, right?
Yeah, I
and
guess
they're
so.
also doing this DC All In now, so it's like a jumping point for the comic side. DC right now, like they're lining it all up to start new. Same with like what Marvel's doing with the All Hell Doom, or was it All Under Doom?
You know what would be fun, because I know that for some of you that fuck with comics a little bit, they've done crossovers back in the day with Marvel and DC. So I wonder if like at some point there'll be like a little set where they might do a little Marvel DC.
I don't. People are excited about that. I like my stuff separate, bro. I'm not into this.
I personally like it separate too.
Yeah, it's two different
But
tones.
I'm gonna give you the example though, and this is just a reference,
You're Naruto and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, you're right. That's dope. Yeah, I ain't gonna put. Yeah, that's hard.
Doom, the Joker, Doom and Joker Wizard comic.
Yeah.
It might not be like the best art, but like again, there's like a little like reference. Imagine that like in a foil like PMG medallion.
I would have. I don't know. I like my stuff separate. I wouldn't be mad if it was done right. I just don't want them to force it just to force it. And Kevin Feige came out and said like, they think that, I don't know if this was meant as a diss, but he thinks that people don't even separate DC and Marvel content because they were giving him congratulations over Blue Beetle, which was a DC movie, right? Like, so people don't even differentiate. So I don't know if that was a diss or not. Maybe that was like
I think Elusive is the only one that saw that movie.
No, I saw it. Blue Beetle.
I never saw Blue Beetle.
I saw it. Well, first of all, as a Mexican, that's disrespectful.
Yeah,
I mean, because you gotta support Cholo. You know what I mean? Shout out
look,
to
if I haven't finished watching the X-Men animated series, Doug, I'm definitely not watching Blue Beetle before.
Whoa, so you're definitely not a Batman fan. I know that.
Okay.
For sure. For sure. You can't like. Did you ever watch Batman Beyond?
Yeah.
Okay, well, not mad. Let you slide on that one, but
damn, appreciate it.
You're back in. I mean, we did again. Shout out to the group chat where I dropped.
Take this shit out. What does this guy do with anything?
Batman? If I'm reading this correct, is Batman along with Mattel Creations and Hot Wheels official.
Shame on you guys. Shame on Hot Wheels. Shame on Mattel.
Rio, where they're ranking Batmobiles.
Can you believe this? Look at this, number 5. Are they fucking retarded?
Oh,
Batman
wow.
89.
Yeah, exactly.
4,
Even Johnny knows.
2022. Shout out to Adam West, Batman. And number 1, not surprising to me, is Batman Adam.
You're not surprised?
Not at all, dog.
Oh, okay. Well,
so there you go.
I'm gonna make my own little video.
Yeah, you can make your video, but I'm gonna tell you what I told you then. You're not Batman. You're not DC. You're not Hot Wheels. So,
but I'm a collector. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm sure you got your manifesto too. Right.
Hell no.
Cape Crusader. Looking forward to it. We got the new.
You seen the rough draft manifesto for proofreading?
No, I haven't. It would be an interesting one. I would say that. I think I would agree with more of your points than other people's. I'll give you that much. But yeah, big Batman stuff going up. Before we, I know we're like an hour 45 in. I do want to get you guys' thoughts on this beginnings. I think because out of all of us, I think Johnny and Leo are actively collecting more cards than us.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a stretch. I think that's factual. I would like to know, first of all, their reaction to it than us. We're a little bit more distant to the card game.
So, like, as like a set as a whole so far?
Yeah. Well, what you've seen, like your first impressions of what you see here, like we see the Mega Splash Jumbo comic clippings back.
I mean, that's art right there. I mean, we were just talking about the comic cuts and all that, but that's a cool comic cut right there.
Yeah.
But I was trying to look for Wolverine stuff, and I just don't see it. So it's like
it's not even in your radar, right? Because some of the characters are not even in.
No, so I mean, like design-wise, it looks a lot like the Volume 2 Series 1.
Yeah.
There's some nice cards, like that Michael Zek cap. That's a cool card right there. But it's not really on my radar. I tried to kind of look up Wolverine singles, and I don't even know if he's in the set.
I know some of them are in like the inserts. Like I like this. If this is the new micro motion, that looks pretty.
Yeah, that's
cool. Nice. I don't mind.
It's like a more modern.
Yeah, modern look to it, right? The holograms are gonna be elusive. Go ahead, bro. Go on your rant about because I feel the same way.
No, I was just gonna say that was a nice surfer. They didn't have to put the big hologram symbol. We know what they are. That's one thing that I don't understand. We were talking about earlier about Fanatics and Upper Deck, right? But this is comparing Upper Deck to itself. How do they fuck up the thing they've done successfully in the past? That's what I don't get.
And it's a trend because we've seen in multiple sets, multiple inserts where they just put this big billboard of what we're not idiots. We can tell it's a hologram, right? You can put it in the back or like put it smaller somewhere.
Even the font that they use for the character. Like, look, I don't mind the font for the character because some people confuse it for Iceman. But you definitely need to put Surfer in there, but you don't need to do it in that font. Like there's so many little small things that they could change that would just make it way better. And it's just center the damn character name, change the font, and take off the holograms, and that's it.
That's the thing. Like if you're gonna this looks awkward on the right side, and I get it. You're doing the same space here, the R to the edge that you are the Upper Deck, but it's not even like. Just put the Upper Deck symbol, like I don't know, somewhere else, and just center the font. Like it'd be better look. Why does it have to be so big? You can make that smaller. We can read.
And as far as
it's bigger than beginnings, like bro.
Yeah. And as far as the cuts, I mean, might as well do splash cuts now.
Splash cuts, yeah. I mean, I like the design of the cuts. Since the first version came out, it's been a great. Love the gradient, glitz and glamour. They're trying to add some shiny stuff in this. Was this Volume 2, Series 2, or I don't know what it's called, but yeah, I mean not for me, but I'm sure someone will like it.
Yeah.
Jumbo comic. I agree with John. I think this is cool. And if you could get this sent to PSA or CGC, like it would be dope. You know what I mean? Just to get this encased. Not for everyone, clearly, but I think it's cool. And it's gonna be, $200 compared to $5 book. Sorry, Sergio. It's just the way it is. It's numbered.
Yeah.
Probably worth more because they're less made. I think. I'm sure they'll probably go higher. I'm not mad at that. Here's an interesting one. AF-15 image on up beginnings. And everyone's been wanting this on a PMG. I don't think they made it into a PMG in Spider-Man Metal. They brought it out for Ultra Power on Blue Ultra Avengers of all sets, which didn't make sense. I think that's the set they brought it up, right? There's going to be a one of this if this is the base card, right? Like this might be a red parallel. Does that garner a high sales value? Like AF-15 101? Technically, it's going to be one of those.
That's
I guess only until they release another card 1-of-1 with the same image, right? Because it's not going to be
image, right? Yeah.
That's the thing that we all avoid, man, is the fact that the conversation of what you just asked, like, should this be worth more than if it was, let's say this AF-15 did exist in a PMG and it was in 13 Retro? Would it be worth more?
No, yeah, because PMG would be worth more because it's a superior insert. Like
that's
the
my
market
point.
dictates that.
And
right?
I also feel that there's superior product or sets.
Yes.
So that's the thing. I mean, I think Beginnings is dope. Like it's better than it being an annual product, for sure.
Would you rather have this 1-of-1 over a Platinum 1-of-1?
No.
Golden Treasures that doesn't have this image on it.
No, because at least gold. Even though I'm not big on Platinum is a first.
Listen, that in a gold foil would look amazing. You know.
Yeah,
that would be sick.
I'm going with the AF-15 image though, bro. Like, okay, Platinum is the first and probably the only one now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the image has to play a factor in it. Like, it's AF-15 is a 1-of-1.
Oh, I thought you were asking me if that was the same image on one.
No, meaning no. The same artwork on Platinum. There's two of them. There's a comic book one, and then there's the Cacao one, which is a different one. I rather have this in a 1-of-1. I don't know if it'll be gold. Hopefully, it'll be gold because that would make sense. But even if it was like a black,
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like I rather hold this 1-of-1 over a Golden Treasures 1-of-1.
Okay, but now we're only disagreeing because of artwork. But if we base the same artwork on both,
that's what makes it interesting. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a competition.
That's my point. Yep.
Yeah. That's why this image alone in a 1-of-1, I can see this being a big deal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if that image exists as a 1-of-1 in another set.
I will say it's kind of smart for Beginnings to have 3 different series because that way they can spread out main characters throughout the 3 series.
Yeah, that's so.
But and that's the whole other thing. And we've seen like Upper Deck E-Pack have constant sales, right? And with the news of maybe losing their license, it kind of makes sense.
Where that gives you like 3 times the sketches, 3 times the Doom cards, possibly.
It does actually. That's exactly what it's doing as well. So it's not the worst thing.
Does the 3rd volume come out if they lose their license? When does it stop production? Right? Like, we know we're getting Avengers Metal. Are the other ones that were supposed to be announced because there's physical sketch card blanks that have been leaked? Are they even in the work anymore? Like, that's weird. I don't know. What's up with Masterpieces? Why hasn't it been on E-Pack? Are they saving that to be the final release before they lose their license? I don't know.
I remember there was even talk about they're working on a Wolverine metal set.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything of a like strategy when it comes to why they haven't released on E-Pack, because Upper Deck doesn't. I don't get the sense that they're gonna delay the bag for anything. If they could, they
Well,
probably
but if
already.
they had to go reprint, like some people are thinking, they had to go back and print the artwork they missed. Then it's taking longer because of that. But are they holding it back because they're having there's gonna be a new release in a couple of weeks? The Avengers Metal, I think, if not like a month from now. Like they're pushing product almost like a month apart.
That's what I'm saying. I don't. Why haven't they released it on EPAC? I don't think.
Unless that's the last one they feel like. Why are they doing multiple sales on EPAC? Do they have to cease like sales of Marvel cards after a certain date on EPAC?
That's my point. It doesn't make sense for them to delay it because then they run more of a risk of them not being able to put it out.
Right. If that is the case, then
I could give a reason why they would delay it is, give all this filler to the people, keep them happy, fat and happy. Think about it. If they release Masterpiece now, what's the point of buying Beginnings or Annual or the next Flare, Platinum or anything? Because you're gonna spend all your money on.
That's like that scene in like Fast and the Furious when he uses the nitro, when the guy with the Volkswagen uses the nitrous and he's like, too soon, or whatever he says. But yeah,
that's funny. That's the second time someone brings that up today. Doom.
That's gonna be like the final hoorah. I mean, who knows like what's gonna happen with like some of these sets and like if they're going to release, if they will release. But I mean, hey, thankfully for me, I'm in the comic space, man. Good luck to all you card collectors out there. I'll be enjoying from afar.
That's great. I saw a lot of cards in your IG today.
We just posted a bunch today.
And those cards, by the way, would buy you some really nice books. That's crazy. You're holding them.
Our prices are going up. They got
I
the
speak
goat around.
Sergio fluently. He just said, "Don't even worry. Don't even worry about it.
It's just part of the collection,
Yeah.
Yeah, I will see. I did see that ad for.
Go make them an offer.
Hey, did you see the ad for the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No. Is there
No, you got to look at the trailer. The Tale of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is going to release on Nickelodeon, August 9th. I feel
like a bad Turtles fan.
Drop the trailer. That's why I'm here for you. Drop the trailer. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, looks.
Oh wow, we got Mikey.
We're gonna have some new turtle content.
Leo, Raph. I like Raph. The new Raph. It's crazy. Raph's my second favorite turtle. All right, let's rank turtles. Come on, let's do it. We're already here.
I mean, listen, August 9th.
You want to start it? I'll go second.
Kick it off.
All right.
Kick it off.
Number one, Mikey. Easy. Mikey for me. Number two, Raph. Easy. Number three, Leo. Easy. Number four, Donatello.
Yeah, I mean, my list is the same. So.
Oh wow. I'm gonna go number one, Leonardo. Number two, Raphael. Number three, Donatello, and the last one would be Mikey.
Disrespect.
Whoa.
I feel personally attacked.
Oh, I mean, but you're not. Hey, but you're not Upper Deck, and you're not Ninja Turtles, and you're not.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, but I feel like most people. I want people to. Yeah, let's keep going, and then I want people to comment their order. Please comment.
Wait, really quick.
Wild.
Because I know. Let's rephrase that question, and let me add. Shredder. Let me add Casey Jones.
Oh, but that gets too complicated. No. We'll do honorable mentions after, but let's get. All right, Free, you go next.
Well, I'll tell you my favorite. You guys would never be able to guess my favorite.
You love Donatello. Let me go.
His name is Leonardo because his name is Leo. Come on.
So Leo, my name, but it's also my favorite color, which is blue. Yep. But he also has the twin blades. I grew up practicing the art of the sword fighting, kendo. So that's actually why I like Blade as a character. I've always loved swordsmen, so that's definitely my favorite.
Who's your second, third, and fourth?
Mikey, second.
Thank you.
This cannot have him up top.
Come on.
Mikey's S class.
Thank you.
Oh wow, S class.
It's definitely S class. What are you talking about?
I say Raph and Donnie. That's my order as well. Not too much of a reason, but
Well, we both
Yeah,
had
no,
Leo
it's
number
just-
one. We both had Leo number one. Johnny, let's continue.
Yeah. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah.
So for me, Leo number one,
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. No, I respect it. I respect it.
Raphael number two,
Yeah.
Mikey number three, and Donnie
Thank
number
you.
four.
Thank you. You're a reasonable person. Unlike some people. Yeah. I respect. Yeah. Again, I think if we're going by, I don't want to be disrespectful. You know, there's people out there. I don't want to divide. Look, Turtles is inclusive property. I'm not gonna make this. But yeah, that's dope. I didn't know they released that trailer. That's cool.
August 9th.
August 9th. The new Turtles book just came out. The revamp last week. So shout out if you're trying to read Turtles, a new starting point. And I know we talked about the Naruto. Is that how you pronounce it? Naruto?
Naruto. Yep.
And there's some variant covers, and I love the designs that I'm seeing, bro.
Yeah.
Good time to be a Turtles fan.
That one's dope right there where the black and white one surrounded by the colors on top right.
This one?
Top right.
Top right?
Right
This
there.
one?
Yeah.
So this is the Saturday Morning Adventures, and I believe you have the OG,
Yeah.
Eastman Laird. You have 2012, I believe. This is Jenica from like the IDW. This is the new Turtles, the Mutant
Looking rough.
Mayhem. And this, I think these are 2003 Turtles, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's basically like different eras of Turtles.
That's dope.
And there is the Saturday Morning Adventures. It's its own like line where you get like the Saturday morning style, but they're like bringing in like the other ones. So yeah, this is just classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, dope shit. It's dope. Yeah, man. It's lots of good stuff out there. And a lot of people buying a lot of product of San Diego Comic-Con. I know like there's a lot of talk about the economy. Bro, people are spending money.
Yeah.
Shout out to homie James. He told me it's the most packed it's been since
Wow.
pre-COVID San Diego Comic-Con.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And I bet you a lot of those guys are from out of town, you know?
Yeah. I definitely don't want to miss it
Guaranteed.
next year. It's gonna be dope.
Hey, listen, we keep talking about it, and I keep saying it, like, you know, I do
I'm
want
never
to
showing
kind
up,
of
bro.
commit myself.
He said I'm never showing.
I saw the videos where people can barely walk,
A lot
bro.
of people.
Dude, don't worry about it. Me and Sergio will push you in a wheelchair, dog.
Yeah.
No. Bro,
Yeah,
they
everyone
show
have to clear out
look,
the way.
shout out to all the people out there. There's the disabled line. The disabled line was so long, bro.
Dude, we're trying to.
Like,
Hey, that's what we're trying to.
they're
We're trying to
lying.
cut these lines. Doom, help us out, dog. You know what I mean?
I mean, I got some issues too, but like still, like I bro, the anxiety. Like, what are you gonna do with me when I get a panic attack? Fucking halfway, you just gonna
I'm gonna give you an edible.
You're gonna think it works.
baby. That's the
I'm gonna,
only.
be like, I'm gonna be like, here, eat this brownie, bro. Let's relax, you know.
Yeah, relax for. Hey, wait for 45 minutes until the effects kick in.
I'm gonna get lost in the fucking bro. I'm gonna start
You're gonna
tripping.
be lost in the
What,
sauce.
what do you mean you're not trying to fight somebody for some Kith shoes? You know, at the line.
Hell,
Cutting the line. People cutting the line.
We're not doing that.
No, bro. Ain't nobody trying for no.
What do
Especially
I
not
look
for
like?
those shoes, dog.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what I look like fighting for someone for like some grandpa, like glittery.
Shit, I ain't even fight for Jordans, let alone
Tripping.
Asics.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, that's the one. That's the one. Like, you know, fail on that one for me. The shoes are just, dude. Those are grandpa shoes, bro.
To me, if you really think about it, it's genius though because it's a way of him selling you the shoes, getting you to buy them even though you don't want them.
They're runners,
Yeah.
bro. I think they're runners. It's a whole.
I've seen. I'm not
It's a
lying.
whole thing.
I'm
dog.
not lying. I forget
It's
which
a
one it is. I think it's the Wolverine ones. I don't want to lie to you. But when I take my kids hiking, I've seen the ones that dropped with the cards. People hiking with those shoes.
Mm.
Yeah,
Like the Asics.
I can
The
see
Asics.
it.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't follow Asics as much, but I do like the Green Goblins. I think those are fire. I wish they were Doom because it's disrespectful. It's not Doom. So.
And the disrespect that it wasn't in the slab, even though it's a super popular character.
Yeah, it also made it easier to get, so I'm not too mad at that.
Most printed because he's the most popular. You know, gotta give it to
Yeah.
him. Most
I
printed.
love how you guys twist shit around. I'm gonna call you guys Manu
What you
Juniors.
mean? RDJ is pumping it too, dog. Like,
Yeah, you know
tell
what
me
they
he's not
give
the most
RDJ?
popular.
Hey, you'd be pumping it too if they hit him with $100 million 3-movie deal or
Hey,
something
don't
like that.
even worry about it, dog.
I'm not.
Doom,
I'm just
there's
letting
no
you know.
Doom rules. You know what I mean? It's
Uh,
Doomsday, dog. Don't even worry about it.
Hey, don't forget a few episodes ago, you know, he was talking smack about Doom, you know, and now here we are, you know.
Yeah.
you know, I'll make my Doom post tomorrow. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, you gotta make it tonight. You can't wait till tomorrow.
I don't got no sunlight. I want some, you know, some natural light.
Man.
You know,
That's
I want
good.
some natural light. My
Oh,
bad.
make sure you tag us because
Well,
you're gonna be behind. We
I'm
already
definitely-
posted our shit.
Gotta give you guys a head start. You know what I mean?
Oh,
say
I
it with
like
your
it.
chest.
I want to see it now. Yeah.
I mean, you know, I can't post much. According to Free, you know, I've been selling all my Doom cards.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, according to Free, you know, you got nothing left, so that's it.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm curious to see what you post. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Maybe
Wait,
a
you
little-
still got
maybe-
Dooms?
Maybe some Jim Lee Dooms. You know what I mean? So, you know,
Oh
something
shit! Oh damn! I didn't
Something
know
like-
that. Oh, that's crazy.
But,
I do need to send some to PSN. I got some nice raw copies. I need to send over. But yeah.
oh, nice.
All right, bro. Let's do some shout outs. Anyone want to start with shout outs? You know,
Free, go
before
ahead,
we-
man. You're the guest.
Shout out Robert Downey Jr.
Let's go.
He
The
capitalized
go.
on the greatest Marvel villain
Yeah.
IP
You
that,
guys are so full of
IP
shit.
that exists. He knows that. He tried to go for it in 2005, couldn't get it.
He's been
That's good.
knowing.
He had
Yeah.
to get his rep up.
He's been up.
He had to get his rep up, his cred up. He did great as
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Oh, we're doing role play right now. My bad. Go ahead.
He's
Go ahead.
gonna,
I'll
he's
get
gonna
into
do
it.
great as Doom, but I do hope that
Just don't fuck it up.
this is going to
Robert.
be a Tony Stark tie-in with the multiverse and Doom. I think that there should still be a separate Victor.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out RDJ. He's going to take the mantle for now, but we'll see what they do with it.
Yeah, I hope there's a separate Victor for sure. Shout out to all the the Do Care crew. I mean, all the real DC heads out there.
Duke care.
You're gonna have to allow grace for a lot of these Marvel guys
Oh, wow.
who are not gonna have an option but to come and join us because it might not look that great in Tops, so or Fanatics, whatever Fanatics plans on doing. So we just have to forgive them. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And when those upper deck products come out with DC and they get excited, let's not be too mean to them. We're gonna forgive. You know what I mean? We won't forget. But we'll forgive. So shout out to all y'all.
I'm gonna shout out Brian Morrow Cards Up. I know
Shout out, Brian.
He's been a little pessimistic on the hobby lately, but hopefully this helps him out.
Oh,
Shout out to Obi. Yeah, Obi's always coming through for me, man. Shout out Obi. And
Okay.
lastly, shout out Retrospects. Retrospects knows who the best villain is. He knows Vegeta will, shit on Doom. We won't even talk about that. But shout out Retrospects.
Oh, you mean the guy who let his wife get slapped by that
You
cat
can't use
lord,
those same
whatever
things
they do?
twice, man. It's old. You can't use the same.
I
comeback.
remember him crying though. Wasn't he crying because
I've seen Vegeta cry. I've seen Vegeta cry quite a bit. I don't know.
Sergio, you're there?
Maybe I'm misremembering. Yeah, but shout out
don't
to
even worry
Trunks.
about it. Hey, shout out Vegeta. Hashtag Vegeta,
Trunks
guys.
better than Vegeta any day.
I mean, that's his son.
real ones know. You know
I son Trunks.
not the future one, because he
wow.
he didn't even make it. He died. That's how great he was
You guys
in the
are
future,
crazy.
right? It's crazy.
Well,
Crazy how that works.
It's crazy how people always try to use all these things to beat you. You know what I mean? And they used to get the timelines and alternate universes.
R.I.P. Frieza, he got sliced up right away by Trunks. Shout out Trunks. Shout out to Trunks collectors out there. I know you got some Trunks, right? There's
I
some
mean,
nice
I am a
ones,
Trunks
too.
collector, but I mean, that's my favorite
you're
character
welcome.
is Vegeta.
Might have helped you with a couple, you know what I'm saying? I'll take
Yeah, you
mine.
did. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate that you.
You never know. RDJ could play Vegeta one day in a live action.
Yeah, maybe he'll do that, bro.
He might have his day.
Yeah. Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Sergio? Yeah, any shout outs, Sergio?
I don't actually don't have any shout outs, man.
Any anti shout outs, Sergio?
Any anti shout outs?
Elusive just reminded me of one.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to practice a little bit of, me stepping away from the hobby and not being like so aware of like what people got going on. I really don't got, I don't got too much.
Oh, that's great.
Hey, I forgot. Shout out to Charles.
I'm at peace.
Stacking Gems. He told me he wants more drama. I've been trying to be a nice guy, but I got you next episode, Charles. You know what I'm saying? You try to be nice, but then this happens.
Damn.
Wow. I mean, that's if he shows up, Charles, because hella late. You know what I'm saying? But, again, I'm gonna start with the shout out to OB. Also, anti shout out to OB. I'm trying to find the actual message, and you know what I'm talking about. There's a message done today. I can't even pull it up. My algorithm's just telling me to just, there was a Doom card shot once, RDJ news broke, and these two, had a nice chuckle.
And I will say, shout out to Obi, man, because he predicted the Doom card game tag going away. You know what I mean?
Right.
He did call that.
Right.
Wasn't that me actually though? Like way back. I think I might have been first.
I think you and Obi got to fight it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys. I'll break a stick like the Joker, and we're only recruiting one. You guys.
I respect his too soon junior meme from Fast and Furious and at Doom Card. You know what I'm saying? JK. It was funny. And then Elusive had to hit with the almost had you car. With the that's a truck that looks like the Fast and the Furious car.
Yeah.
It was funny. But yeah. And anyone out there who's been trying to tag me in things, but somehow I did change my name from Doomcraft. That don't even worry now. And it's not. I got a lot of messages, and shout out to people who send me messages. It's not that deep. It's just I've been wanting to change it from because it's been less Doom and cards that I've been collecting and more like commissions and stuff. So that's all it was. I mean, but Doom still. If you saw my story tonight on Doomsday, I still got some. I ain't worry about it.
Some people just change themselves from crypto collectibles to Doom stuff, and then some people get out of the Doom stuff and go to don't even worry.
Oh, don't even worry about what I got.
And then I'm not worried. And then free, the only thing that hasn't come true is some of us thought free jumped on that free domain. You know what I mean?
What?
On which one?
You know which one you brought it up.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't hear you, dog. We couldn't hear you.
Let me say it with my chest. Free, my bad, dog. We thought that as soon as Doom got rid of that Doom card, you take over at Doom card. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, that's the whole joke, right? Like that's
because they don't be telling you that. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you that.
No, and look, if anyone wants to take it, they're more than fine taking it. There's no ego for me.
That's wild. That didn't even enter my head, man.
No, it's great. No, they've been stirring that shit. Yeah, multiple people. Not even just Elusive and Nobi. Just multiple people. Trust me. A lot of people have been hitting me up. I'm just glad that I got Doom popping before a lot of people got it popping, and I'm glad Free's taking over and he's collecting some. I'm glad Sergio took some. Even you became a Doom fan, so you're welcome, dog. You
converted a lot of people. You know what I mean?
He's like an honorary though. He's not like really one. Like he didn't really.
No, well, he took himself out because he took. Yeah. It was never real.
Ashikarami. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was never real.
He's got some 90s cards. Yeah, I know. You got some stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, it's not that complicated. And Jonny, you got any shout outs, Jonny, or anything you want to talk shit to someone? You can Feel free to do it right now, bro.
I guess my shout out would just be to Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and Sean Levy. They just delivered the movie us Wolverine fans have been wanting since 2000. So that would be my shout out.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah, I'm glad Marvel's back, and I'm glad San Diego Comic-Con is an event again. Shout out to Hall H and all the announcements they've been doing. So it's cool, man. Cool to see.
Yeah. It always gets fun again, man.
Yeah. It does get crazy out there. Yeah, we got to start recording because it's going to get, Patreon levels. We don't need that. You know what I mean? That ain't for free, you know what I'm saying? One day, though, you know what I mean? Please subscribe, leave a comment out there. I want the Ninja Turtle ratings, please. Like,
let them know, you know what I mean? I mean, we already won 3-1 deal tonight, but, let them know.
Yeah. It's 4 against 1. Mikey should never be number 4. I mean, everyone knows that. So,
yeah.
Hey, the same way the 89 Batmobile should never be number 5. It's wild.
Well, too bad Batman point. Said it. You're wrong. But yeah. Shout out to y'all for joining us. It was fun.
Retroverse, let them know what the best Batmobile out there. Retroverse, let them know.
Yeah, Retro. Choose wisely, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Don't let them threaten you, Retro.
Nah, ain't no threats. Don't even worry. Dog.
That's awesome, man.
Listen,
I'm
Sergio,
excited. I'm excited.
Get to the damn post office, Sergio. Damn.
Yeah, I'm trying, man. I'll be busy with life shit. There's actually like some shit going on.
No, you're single, ready to mingle. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but there's shit going on. You know what I mean? But no, I actually have everything.
There's shit going on in Palestine. You know what I mean?
Well,
shit going on everywhere.
We could go over there too. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about nothing.
Oh no, dog. We gotta wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
It's getting crazy.
Let's go. Hey, listen, Marvel cards, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking do this shit.
Oh man.
Signing off.
All right. Later.
One world under Doom.
Yeah.
Doom shit.
Peace.